Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome, wherever you are watching on. Good afternoon, I should say, since probably most of you are in the UK. Welcome to the second of the Roadbooks editors meetings. I'm Ned Boulting, and we've got a really special guest joining us today, live from Monaco. It's Philippe Gilbert. Hello, Phil.
Hi, Ned. Hi, everyone.
Nice to have you join us. I'm in Italy. I'm at the finish line of tomorrow's stage of the Giro d'Italia, the wine stage with all the white roads of Strade Bianche. And you have just come back, Philippe, from racing in France, haven't you?
Exactly. Kind of a similar race, Trop-Orléans in Brittany, and also with dirt roads. So it's quite similar, but the weather was different.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the first question, I think people will, we're going to very quickly invite our audience to chip in with their questions, Philippe, and already we've had some come in. So I want to get over to our audience who'll be keen to talk to you. But most people watching will want to know how the form is and how you are actually, and how the training's going, and you know, what you're looking forward to for the rest of the racing year.
Yeah, I had kind of rest, after the Flemish Classics, and then I restart just racing in the Ardennes, but I was not ready. I had just had a few days racing in the legs, and also I had a crash just before, so it was not the best preparation. But I was happy to be there because it was 10 years ago, 10 years anniversary of my wins. So I was happy to be back there 10 years after and see all the fans, because it was still some fans there, and it was a good experience. And then I was going on with Romandie, and there I was suffering a lot with the climbers and the weather, but it was good for my condition, and because you need some of these efforts, and now I'm feeling much better.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Do you know? And maybe even if you do know, you probably can't tell me, but I'll ask the question anyway. Are we going to see you? Are we going to see you at the Tour de France, Phil?
Yeah. That's the. It was one of the main goal of the season. So the Tour is really important. So I'm gonna be there, of course. Yeah.
Oh dear, I can't believe, as you just said, it's 10 years since, arguably, I suppose your greatest racing year. Do you consider 2011 to be your absolute peak?
Yeah, it was, and also I was growing the years before, so every year was better, and then it come to that year, and actually I never repeat this anymore. I did some other good years, but never like that. So yeah, it was an exceptional season.
Yeah, I've actually just stolen that question from our first one of the first questions we were going to invite from our audience. That question didn't come from me, Phil. It came from Ray Beer. But let's move on to a question from Craig Russell now that's been sent in to us. It's a really good question. And Craig is asking what the hardest race is, or even stage of a race, that you can remember ever taking part in. Just have a little think to the 700 races you've done in your career, or whatever it is.
Yeah, for me, it was the Tour of Lombardy 2010, the one I won for the second time. It was 264 or 65 kilometers, and it started raining after 3 kilometers, and the temperature went down to 1 degree on top of the highest point of the day. And I remember I was freezing, and we went in the final with Scarponi, and I think both of us were like so cold that we were just riding, like trying to go up the climb, but it was not fast anymore because we were like empty and so cold that we were on the limit, So I remember I was shifting to the big chainring at the end before the attack, and it was like almost really hard to shift. It was not electronic shifting back then, and it was like really hard because I could not feel my fingers anymore. And I remember I still felt pain in my hands for like at least a week.
Yeah, we've had just recently, we've had a few days racing where the riders have been faced with similar conditions, right? There was a day in Romandy, the race that you were at, I think, where it was horrifically cold as well. I think that was the day that Geraint Thomas,
lost the handlebar. Yeah, it was similar, but there was only 20 minutes, So compared to 6 hours, it's another story.
And also at the Giro, there's been a couple of days so far, the stage to Sestola, and a couple of days later where the conditions are but the interesting thing is, Phil, it seems to affect some riders differently from others. Like, how well do you go in the cold normally? Are you, because I think of you as a Belgian, so you should be okay in the cold,
Yeah, I'm quite okay. It's not that I like it, but I'm still performing the bad weather. Obviously more in the past than now. I think with the age it's more difficult. But in the past I really had no problems. I remember riding even without gloves when it was like 1 or 2 degrees, so it was not a problem for me. But now it's I feel a little bit more. I think it's an age playing also a role on that one. Yeah.
Wait till you get to my age. Okay, a bit of a slightly different subject now from Richard Atkins. Oh, and by the way, Philippe, at the end of this, I'm going to ask you to pick what your favourite question was. There's going to be a little prize to the person who asked the best question. Okay, maybe it's this one. So the next question comes from Richard Atkins. It's, what is your favourite Belgian beer?
I like a lot of them, but the problem, the last time I answered that, they used this to make publicity, and and so they're really difficult on that in Belgium. So I have a few I like, but we're gonna keep it private.
Okay, that's a very diplomatic answer. Yeah. What about French beer? You can maybe say that.
They're good on wine, but not on beers. They still have, yeah.
Are you like a wine? Do you like your wine in Monaco? Do you know a bit about it in kind of high society that you live in?
No, I'm living in Monaco, of course, but I think I'm still normal. And of course, I can sometimes enjoy a good bottle, but it's not every day.
No, fair enough. Yeah. Right, next question from Matt Bradley. You've got to pick 4 riders in addition to yourself. So he is imagining a five rider group in a classic. So which 4 riders in addition to yourself would you pick to create the greatest one-day super group of all time, and why?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I had this question already in the past, and yeah, of course. In what kind of classics, like Flemish or?
Yeah, let's say Flemish.
Then I would take for sure Tom Bonen, because he was the most successful. I would take Tim de Klerk to pull and control. I will take. It's not easy. All the generations. So.
Would you have Eddie?
Yeah, I think you need Eddie. He's always there. Yeah, take Eddie. Yeah, we'll only take Belgians. So.
Of course.
Yeah, Eddie, Bonen, me. So it's 3, and we need 2 more.
One more.
We need another one to control. So.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's Elio Case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. He's doing such a good job in Italy at the moment because everybody else on his team is a climber.
Yeah.
And Remco, yeah. Tell me, somebody's just asked actually in the live little thing here. I think it's Ben Williams, who's just asked, is there a plan for another all Belgian WhatsApp organized attack during the Tour de France? Ben's referring to the day at Paris-Nice where you guys all attacked, which I honestly, I think was one of the most exciting things I've seen so far in 2021. It was just so funny. And then we found out that this is something that you guys quite regularly do, yeah?
They did. I was not part of the group the last time, and I was quite pissed on them because they didn't tell me. So this time they invite me, and I was happy that I was part of this. But I think if we pick the right moments, we can go until the finish. But of course, if we start doing this in every races, it's going to be difficult. But I think sometimes it's really possible that we make it happen until the end.
Oh wow, that would be something.
But I think it would be nice that other countries start doing the same.
Yeah,
it would be a nice mode launched by the Belgians.
Yeah, I think Belgium might win. That's the only problem I've got there. How was it organised? Was it organised on the road, or was it organised in the morning on the team buses?
No, it was Oliver Nassen. So he's always speaking to everyone. He's really friendly. He speaks to a lot of riders. And I was just in the bunch, and he came next to me, said, "You want to be part of our attack?" I said, "Yeah, of course. Just tell me when, and I'm there." So we said, if I remember well, kilometer 135. And I start to move up, and so I told my team actually to not surprise them, but you have to be discreet. And I was there, and at one moment he said, "Come on, it's the moment." But it was like 2Ks before what we planned, and I was not really ready for that. I was looking for the kilometer with the sides, so we still did it a little bit earlier. And it was we didn't have the effect we were supposed to have, because the guys were right there on the wheel, and then also the quick step guys stopped pulling directly because they got shit from the sport director. So they flicked us actually that day. Yeah.
And you were. So the reason that you hadn't been invited before is because, of course, you're French speaking, aren't you?
I hope it's not the reason.
Is that all the other guys were Dutch speakers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Great question. Dan Deakins has just asked, "Who's the best domestique you've ever worked with, Phil?" I mean, it's a big list, but I wonder if you could just pick out one or two.
I will say Tim de Klerk, because. Not only because of the work he's doing, but also his attitude, is really positive. He's speaking a lot for the group, he's always giving motivation. He's himself even a trainer, so he knows a lot about training. So he's always giving tips also to some guys. So, he's really important in a team.
Yeah. And his father is a famous comedian in Belgium, right?
Yeah, he's really funny. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Great question, Dan. Question from, let's just have a look at some of the questions that have come in already. From Matt Moran. This is a nice question. I like this. What is your favorite road to ride on? And why does it mean so much to you? I guess he means training road there.
Yeah. I like to go in Dutch Limburg on the course of Amstel.
Yeah.
And when I'm there, I'm usually doing like 4 or 5 hours training, but I always finish with the final of Amstel, because it's like you have all these climbs, really steep, and if you finish with a fast tempo, so it's like really hard training. So I like to go there. So I don't go there often, but when I'm in the area, I always go there, and I like to do this final.
Yeah, because Phil, I remember you telling me when I interviewed you some years ago for a magazine about where you grew up.
Yeah.
And the village that you grew up in is right at the foot of the Redoute. Yeah.
Yes. Which is like 80 km from the Koberg, Valkenburg. So it's not far.
Yeah. So how old were you the first time you rode a bike up the Col de the Redoute?
Oh, I was less than 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long history with that climb. Huh?
Yeah.
Great question. And in terms of when you see the route announced of the Tour de France, and you think about, okay, so is the Galibier in it this year? Have we got to finish to La Planche des Belles Filles? Are we going to the Mur de Bretagne? All these places. Is there a particular stage? I mean, the Mur de Bretagne, for example, comes back this year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think going twice or three times already.
Yeah, 2 times, I think. Yeah.
2 times. Are there kind of bits of France and particular climbs that you like more than others when you think, oh yeah, that would be good? Or maybe climbs that put the fear of God into you as well, that you hate.
Yeah, like Mur de Bretagne is not an easy one because you have the steep part at the bottom, so you really have to go deep into the pain from the first meters, and then it's like flattening out. So, like me, I'm the kind of rider who can easily go over, his own rhythm and then never recover. And the climbers, sometimes they cannot go really deep, so they go steady, but they keep the same speed until the top, and they're more efficient, So I remember when Evans won in front of Contador, I was 5th, and I was thinking, wow, at 500 to go, I was thinking, I'm perfect, I'm positioned 5th, but actually I was staying there until the finish. We didn't move up anymore. Only Evans passed Contador on the line, but I think they need the photo finish. But I think the top 5 or top 6 was the same, 500 meters to go and at the finish.
Yeah, because everybody...
Yeah, we just stayed there. It's just like so much into the pain,
Yeah. What are your ambitions on the Tour de France this year, Phil, if I can just ask that? I mean, what do you see your role as being within the team? Because obviously Caleb, we know that Caleb will be there, won't he? Because he's left the Giro d'Italia and he's a superstar sprinter.
Yeah, of course. It's really important to have Caleb in the Tour because this year it's a lot of chance that it will be a bunch sprint. So
lots of them. Huh?
Yeah, a lot of chance for him. And he's always really good in the stage races. So I think that he's going to win again some stages. And for myself, I think it will be too little ambition if I just say finishing the Tour. But in my eyes, if I get into Paris, after so much bad luck I had in the last 2 editions I was part of, I stopped. Even the last 3. The third last one I was sick, I had to stop. Second last one I crashed, I broke the knee, and last one same thing, crash on the knee, and I went home. So it's like 3 tours without seeing Paris, and I think if I can go to Paris, and then automatically the chance of doing results will be there. So the main goal is to go to Paris and also make the best results in the way.
Very good. I kind of forgotten that's three consecutive tours that you've had bad luck.
Yeah,
that's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Especially the last one after one day, it was mentally it was hard, to go home so quick. Yeah.
Because arriving in Paris as a tour rider still means
it's special.
A lot.
Yeah, it's special. It's not. I think it's changed. Last time it's a long time ago, but when I see on TV, I think it's a lot more stress now than in the past. But it's really special for a rider to achieve this.
Yeah. And Philippe, have you made your mind up definitively what next year holds for you?
Yeah, next year is my last year contract, and like I said, I think it's the last one because it's it will be like 20 years as a pro.
Yeah.
Not always at the best level, but not far. So it's just at least always on the highest level of racing. Always the World Tour, always Grand Tours. I did I don't know how many Grand Tours, but something like 25, almost 60 monuments, so I did a lot, and every time I do this with a lot of professionalism, recon, big preparation. So it's not like just starting, it's a lot of work. And I think when you do this for 20 years, it's good enough, I think.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's amazing, Philippe. Great question here from Gordon Henry, which I would imagine you have probably been asked before, but I've never heard your answer, so I'd be interested. If you could swap your World Championship win for taking all 5 monuments, would you do it?
No, because the world it's on top of everything, you know. Even being Olympic champion is not the same level, you know, because world champion, you wear this symbol of cycling, you know. We're I think the only sport with this big symbol, this jersey with the colors of the continents. So when you have this chance and you can wear it for 1 year, you realize, you know, how lucky you are, and you will not change this for nothing.
Yeah. Was that that first time that you raced in the jersey? Can you remember which race that was and how that felt?
Yeah, I was okay. We celebrate good the jersey because you have to do it, but I was quite serious after the days after, because I kept the pressure for Lombardy, because I was sure to be able to win Lombardy with the legs I had, and with the jersey it was a big goal. And I was in front after the Sormano alone in the distance, so going maybe to the win, and then I crashed, you know, in the distance. So it was my first experience with the jersey. And it was some oil in the corner because I crashed. I think 2 motorbikes crashed behind me, and another 10 riders crashed in the same corner. So yeah, it was not the best start.
It wasn't the same place that Remco crashed, was it?
It was, I will say, 1K later.
Wow.
Same descent, but 1K later, yeah.
Super dangerous descent. And
yeah, really dangerous, yeah.
But what about, while we're talking about Remco, we've just had a question from Brian Smith just come in, who asks, how good do you think Remco is going to be?
Yeah, I think even him don't know. He's so young that he don't know his own limits. So he's testing himself, and I think from now, or from already 3 days ago, it's every day is new because he never raced that long on a bike, you know. I think his maximum was a 1 week racing.
Yep.
So since 3 days, every day is a new day and it's a new experience, and he's testing his body and his mind. And but when I watch the TV, I see that he's really good. He's super focused, and you see that he recover every time because he still fight also for the bonus on the way. So I think he's going to do big results.
It's watching him is very different. Now he takes his first attempt at a Grand Tour, because you can't really win Grand Tours in the manner in which he has won so many of his bike races in the lead up, you know, like with his big attack in Poland, for example, or the way he won San Sebastian a few years ago. That's not how you win Grand Tours, is it? You have to be.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he can.
If I ask Chris Froome, I think he won a Giro with an attack of almost 80K, you know, so
it's true.
Everything is possible. I think I think now they experienced also last year, you know, with the pink jersey for a long time, they lost a lot of energy. So I think it was also the team decision to not take the jersey too quick. And I think now we still have burnout under control. So everything is still possible. So
yeah,
I think they learned the lesson from last year. So they try to stay in the best position possible for the final week or final weekend. And then you will go all or nothing.
Wow.
I think this is my opinion. I'm not in the team anymore, but this is when I look from the outside, this is what I see.
Yeah. It is amazing that Belgium has not won a Grand Tour since 1978 and Johan de Muynck. It's one of those statistics that makes you think, what? That can't be right. So you have to double check. But it's true. It's true,
but it's also, I would say, big part is also because of federation. You know, they were like based on the one-day races. You know, also the teams I remember when I was young, the talents they didn't watch the talents in the stage races. They only watched them in the one-day races. So I think we always detect the big specialists of the one-day races, but we didn't even watch the specialists of the stage races in the past. And they start this now 10, 15 years ago with trying to detect the talents in the stage races. And then now they're coming, more and more. And yeah, I think it's like if you don't detect them when they are young and you don't send them to specific races, training camps, in the mountains, if you just leave them in Belgium in this kind of cameras, they will never improve, So I think it's all started like 10 years ago when the federation changed its way of detecting the talents.
Ah, that's really interesting. I didn't really know that. If Remco were to do it, and you have to think one day he's only 21. One day he will win a Grand Tour, probably many.
I think so.
Do you think he'll be recognised in Belgium as a great champion, just like the winner of Tour, just like you, the winner of Tour of Flanders or ParisRoubaix or the one-day classics? Or do you think that the Belgian cycling heart is still all about the classics?
No, I think he's already now. I think he's really famous, not only in Belgium, but especially in Belgium, because also he's like a really nice guy. He speaks really good French, speaks Flemish, speaks English. So for his age, he's really impressive, and he's also from Brussels, which is like okay, it's like from the Flemish part, but Brussels is like kind of neutral, so it's like Eddy Merckx, it was the same, so when you're from the area of Brussels, like south of Belgium say that you're like from them, and north says you're from them, so you're always there in the middle, so you have a special place in the heart of Belgium.
Wow, that's great. Actually, there's another question about young riders. It's come from Dean Gilmore. Dean asks, is this an exceptional crop of youngsters at the moment in the peloton? I mean, it feels like that's the case. What do you think?
Yeah, they're coming. It's more and more like, Pogacar, Pidcock, Remco, so many of these young talent. Van der Poel is still young, Van Aert the same. So a lot of young talents, and I'm really impressed from some of them, especially like when I see Pogacar, the way he's racing, he's really smart. He don't make mistakes. He even push others to make mistakes. So I'm really impressed by this, because myself, I did a lot of mistakes because before I was really racing perfect. Mm-hmm. And I needed a lot of years to learn that. But these guys, they learn from the first day, and it's really impressive, yeah.
Another question has just come in from Claire. It's just gone off my screen, actually. But Claire was asking about the recent UCI rule changes with regards to position on a bike and all these various changes. What do you think about them, Philippe? Do you support them? The changes of how you hold the handlebar and how you can descend?
I mean, yeah, it was a decision of all the families of cycling, I think everyone was agree on that, and of course, we knew that if the UCI will take the decision of really making this official, it will be a lot of reactions. And at the end, it was some reactions, but not so much, I would say, from the riders. They were like even not doing it before the official date, so I think like few guys still did it for fun on the last day, but I think it was accepted quite good from the riders. And then you can also say, okay, it's bad because you banned everything and it's no freedom anymore. But I think it's also not a nice example for the young kids, because like today I was going to ride with my son. He's 10 years and. It's a week of holiday in Monaco because of the Formula One. So we were riding, and I think I would not like to see him doing this position at 10 years, because I don't think he have the control and the balance to do it. And as a pro, I think we have also to give a good example.
So you support the UCI with this. You think they're doing the right thing?
Yeah. I mean, I did so many years without using this position, but at one point when everyone was doing it, I had to do the same, because then if you don't do it, it's a penalty for yourself,
Sure.
because this position is so fast that if you don't do it, you're just dropped. So I was also doing it, and but honestly, if no one was doing it, I would not do it. So yeah, it's not that I will miss this,
Yeah. Craig Ackers has asked, and actually this relates to fantastic bit of writing you did for us in the 2019 road book, which is going to be the prize that the best question will receive. We've got another sort of about 10 minutes of this before Philippe, you have to go. But Craig asks, was the finish to Paris-Roubaix in 2019 a planned attack, or did your instinct take over?
Actually, I was attacking already 2 times before. So I was, I had really good legs and I didn't want to have regrets. So I said I'm going to attack. And the first attack, I think I gave a lot of pain to the guys. And I think I built my win there, because if I didn't attack, no one was going to attack, I think. So I started attacking moves, and from there, we were never easy anymore, and we rode faster. So because we were also taking more time to the group behind, so put a lot of pressure in the lead group, and this is what I needed. And when you have good legs, it's never fast enough. So for me, the fastest, the better. So it was a really good situation. And then I was attacking on the Carrefour de l'Arbre, but then I dropped, only Sagan was following back then, and then we regrouped, and then Philippe went again, and then there I regrouped all my force, and I went for a last effort to join the Philippe. But yeah, it was also a big effort there. Yeah, especially it was like only, I think, 2 minutes after the big attack, so not a lot of recovery. Yeah. So this is when you do this is when it makes a lot of pain and make the biggest difference.
Yeah, and I also remember when you in that bit of writing you did for us, you told us that you'd never sprinted on a track before.
No.
Which is amazing, and also because Niels Pollitt he's got a fast sprint, hasn't he?
Actually, he's really fast, but I never sprinted against him before that, so that's why I was nervous, because when you see him physically, you just know, you can only know that he's fast because you have all the muscles he's built for that. You see it,
Yeah.
So I knew this, but I also didn't get any information from the team car about this. They didn't say, be careful, he's really fast. I think they just leave me in focus for the race and in my own world, because I was really, really focused on the last sprints, and I just went full gas and as fast as possible, and I did. I knew that the beginning of my sprint will be the most important, because then you can also break the morale, of the other. Yeah. So I went really fast the first 50 meters, and there I make the difference.
Fantastic. I'm going to take 2 more questions that have just come up on my screen. One just come in from Penny Williams, who asks, who would win in a 2-man breakaway, you or Thomas de Gendt?
It depends on the parcours. If it's let's say if it's a hard climb more than 5K, you will have more chance.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah.
I say it. And then if it's flat, I will have more chance.
Yeah.
But he's also fast.
Yeah.
He's fast.
What's he like, Philippe? Because he wears this mask and he has this beard, and he doesn't smile much. He's a very funny guy, isn't he? He's got a very dry humor, and he just has his own particular style of racing. But I don't feel like we know what he's like really as a teammate. Is he fun?
Not really, no. He don't really speak on the table, So yeah, no, he don't really speak a lot.
Oh dear, very interesting. And the final question,
social media.
The final question came from a former racer, someone who you may know, Daniel Lloyd, who works for PPN. Dan's watching. Daniel Lloyd, when you retire next year, you'll have spent more years as a pro than not. Are you worried about a life without racing?
Wow, I don't know, because when you stop and it's your own choice, it's a big difference, and I think it's easier to accept. But of course, I will miss the stress. I think it's when I speak to the riders who stopped, it's really strange when you start to see in January, February, all the guys living for training camps, and you stay at home. They say there you really realize that you're not pro anymore. But I think, with 3 kids at home and 4 if I count the one of my wife, we're going to be busy, and I'm going to have also a lot of projects. So I don't think I will have a lot of time to regret.
You're going to be super busy. Are you going to be, you've got your bike shop in Monaco. Do you think that one day you might get behind the wheel of a car in the convoy?
I don't know. Actually, it's hard to say. I don't know. It's still a long way, and I'm working a lot, especially to be successful now. And I'm coming from far, with my knee injury, and I lost really a lot of energy there and a lot of time. So now I really want to focus on myself and more on the performance. And I just think I can take time, and even lost 6 months, after when I stopped, with really thinking and organizing my life after. If I take 6 months there for organizing, or even if it's 8 months, it's not a problem. But I want to give still everything on the bike and not mixed, my own career with other projects, because then you will do everything half, and then it's not good. So I want to do everything 100%. So I will do everything on time.
I completely understand. You need to pick your favorite question. There was the question about beer, the question about De Ghent, UCI positions, whether you swap the World Championship jersey for what do you think?
Yeah, this one. Let's take this one. Yeah.
The World Championship jersey versus the 5 monuments. Whoever it was, you know who you were. Our team will get in touch with you to deliver the Roadbook 2019, which, as I say, has Philippe Gilbert's essay in it that he wrote for us about winning ParisRoubaix, which in the 4 years we've done the Roadbook, I think, 4 years, has been one of the best bits of writing we've had. It's an amazing insight to a great race, and a brilliant racer. Philippe Gilbert, we've got another year and a half to admire you on the road, and we're going to savor every single time you pin on a number and appear on our TV screens.
Thank you.
Really grateful for you to join us for the last 3/4 of an hour. And I think on behalf of everybody who's been here watching on, good luck. And we'll see you. We'll see you on the screens at the Tour de France. I hope you have better luck, and I hope you make it all the way to Paris this time.
Yeah,
Philippe.
Thanks. And all the questions were great. So I'm really happy about this chat, and it was really nice. It's really interesting, and I think this new media give us like a nice way to exchange with the fans, and which is new, I think, for our sport, and I think it's really important. So thanks for everyone to be involved today.
100%. Cheers, Philippe. See you soon.
Cheers. Bye. Bye, guys.